We welcome you back into Pioneer Arena, Tusculum and Lenoir-Rhyne. The Bears are the 18th ranked team in the country. They come in here today riding a 3-game winning streak, and a Bears team that one of their last loss coming against UVA-Wise, and that was an overtime loss, 90-89. Prior to that, the Bears had not lost a game going back to November against Carson Newman. That includes wins against Newberry, Emory, and Henry Wingate. They defeated Wise the first time big. They win an overtime win against Catawba. That includes our loss, 95-75. Bluefield, 16th ranked Coker, they gave them their first loss at 99-98, held Coker for the first time under 100 points. They then went and defeated Lincoln Memorial, 79-77. Another win against Mars Hill, the loss to Wise, the win against Anderson, the win against Emory and Henry, and last game out, the win against Limestone. This team is rolling, ranked 18th in the country with first-year head coach Brent Owen. You know, here's a guy that comes from eastern New Mexico, a southern Indiana graduate, and he has injected life, he has injected energy, and number 2, 3, 4, and 5, he's brought in good players. They have great talent. And they have a great system, and it's fun to watch. And even though they're destroying your team in the process, it is just fun to watch, and it's enjoyable. For the Pioneers, this is our diaper dandies. This is, we're going to be learning a lot of things here through life, and what it's like to play at a collegiate level. We had to learn a little bit of that against Wise on Wednesday. We had to deal with some adversity. It wasn't fair, wasn't a lot of fun. I didn't enjoy it. I don't like taking teams off of the scoreboard or points off of the scoreboard that you have already earned in a game. I just did not think that was the right move. I didn't like it. Didn't like anything about any of that situation. Had never experienced it, had never seen it, didn't understand it, don't know why. It definitely affected the team, and it definitely affected the outcome of the contest as well. I mean, it was definitely effective there for this Pioneer basketball team. In the loss to the third-place team in our league in overtime, 86-78. We deserve better result there on the road. Pioneers and the Bears. It's the 58th meeting. Here's your nugget of the game. It is the first time that the Pioneers have played the Bears as a ranked opponent since 2004, when the Bears came here and lost 73-72 during the Doug Chamba, Donald Sexton, Greg McIntosh, Duger Bockham era. That was a fun game. And we scored, it was one of the lowest points games that we had scored. We were battling for tournament championships and conference championships with Pioneer, former Pioneer coach Duger Bockham. A lot of fun during that stretch as well. There's your starting lineup for the 18th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Julian Dozier's in his first year out of Georgia Highlands College. He was at Fordham University as well. 5'10 junior from Detroit. Tay Smith, a 6'3 senior from Bowling Green, Kentucky, out of Warren Central High School by way of Brescia University. Hans Lewis June, a 6'5 senior from Lake Worth, Florida, Park Vista High School by way of Florida A&M. Sam Martin, 6'9 sophomore from Apex, North Carolina, Apex High School. And Conrad Luchinsky, the tallest player in our league, 7'2 sophomore out of Bartlett, Illinois, Bartlett High School by way of Eastern New Mexico, which is where they got Brent Owen from, hiring him. The first year, 15-3, his fourth year overall, 61-42. Bears are 15-3, winners of 3 straight, and the lone loss in this stretch of the last 10 games, an overtime loss by 1 point to the UVA-Wise Highland Cavaliers. Little change in the starting lineup for the Pioneers. We're going to put TJ Print up there, the 6'6 sophomore from Adairsville, Georgia, out of Adairsville High School. Bryce Jackson, a 6'3 sophomore from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, out of Stewart's Creek High School. Denaj Kimber, the 6'3 freshman from Knoxville, out of Fulton High School. Jason Britton, the 6'2 freshman out of Greenville, Tennessee, out of North Green High School. And Akeem Odesipe can definitely be one of the most dynamic and scary players of our league. He doesn't have his hair all up today, so he's not going to be as intimidating. So when you see it in pictures, you'll be like, who is that? It's still Akeem, the 6'9 senior from Lagos, Nigeria, out of Knox Catholic High School by way of initially Vanderbilt and then Kent State University. Pioneers coached by J.T. Burton. who is in his 7th season, 14th overall. The 200-win plateau elusively evading him. The associate head coach is Justin Chartrand. The assistant coach recruiting coordinator is Jackson Miller, whom we spoke with earlier. The director of basketball performance is Ben Chartrand, and our athletic trainer is Katie Croker. And the Pioneers at 4-14, 4-10 in the league. Our officials is Tom Stinnett, Luke Payne, David Vespi. Transportation for the Radio Greenville Sports and the Pioneer Sports Network is provided by Gateway Ford Nissan. Stop by Gateway Ford Nissan with any deal, and Lenny will beat it by at least $500 on any new Ford or Nissan. That's at Gateway Ford Nissan on the bypass in Greenville. Tom will step center circle. He'll throw the ball into the air, and it'll be won by the Pioneers. So Tusculum has it, and we are underway. Glad you could be with us. Brian Staten, courtside game station engineer. On the radio end of things, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humbert. From the TV side of things, Jessica Biggers providing the pictures today. A little bit of a mistake on a pass here. We're fortunate to keep it. We'll fire a 3, which is no good, and rebounded by the Bears. We have gotten off to really hot starts from three-point territory. Bryce Jackson comes up with a near steal. It will be Lenoir-Rhyne basketball. Bryce nearly stealing it in the backcourt. And Bryce has just been so electric. He's got off to a double-digit first-half start. We're going to maybe put some time back on the clock, I think. And so that's what they're going to discuss and what to do and how to handle that. Disappointing loss for the Tusculum women in Game 1, if you're just joining us. A whistle for an offensive foul blown on an inbound with Tusculum down by 1, 5.5 seconds to play. Looking to score, and a whistle deciding the outcome. Bears with the basketball on the left side front court is Tay Smith. Smith back to the top and into the hands of Lewis June. From the elbow, Luczynski. Luczynski driving it against Odesipe, lost it out of play. It was last touched by Britton, I believe. And Luczynski at 7'2". Of course, then we dealt with the 7-foot kid from UVA Wise on Wednesday, and Akeem ended up with a career-best game. On the inside, layup attempt is good by Sam Martin. Got away from TJ Printup somehow and was able to score. With the basketball into the front court, this is going to be Denaj Kimber. Kimber, Bryce Jackson. Jackson. Tripled in the paint, kick it out to Britton, extra pass, Denaj. In and out for a 3 is no good, and the rebound comes down to the Bears. Into the front court is Dozier. Dozier on the left side. Great pass looking into the paint, layup attempt is good. Lewis June on the finish. 4-0 Bears. TJ Printup into the front court on the right side. Printup for a 3. Bang! Pioneers, TJ Printup extending the three-point streak, 348 games. That's 1,109 of the last 1,110 games. Inbound situation for the Bears in front of our location. Bears leading it 4-3. Dozier with it between the rings. Pioneers played the Bears back on December 7th. Intimidation was a word that I use quite often for our young pups, our sons of Davy Crockett, in all trueness of the word. Near steal, but Tay Smith saves it with 5 to shoot. In the zone, Smith, jumper is good from 18 feet. Tay Smith, solid. And then he'll come in with the most dynamic player in the league to replace Tay Smith and Zaire Wells. Right side front court, Jason Britton gets a screen, drives it, kicks it. Denaj Kimber, extra pass in the corner. In the paint. Britton doubled. And he got in the air. He tried to pass it. It looked like it was deflected back to him. He caught it. But they called him for a travel. Into the front court with it on the left side is Tay Smith. Smith bounce pass to Luczynski, 15 feet from the bucket, puts it on the floor. Battling with Odesipe, gets great positioning in close and puts it in. He just muscled his way in for 2 that time. 8-3 Bears, largest lead of the basketball game. Pioneers have 1 field goal. The Bears have not missed. Right side Fred Court. Bryce Jackson. Odesipe hands it off to Britton. Britton driving baseline on the dribble. Gets it to Odesipe. He'll go on Luczynski into the paint. That one's no good. Luczynski cleans it up. Pioneers 1 for 4. The Bears 4 for 4. The Bears 5 for 5. That's high percentage. And transition defense not very good. And the Pioneers, JT Burton calls the timeout because we do not react on the transition defense very well whatsoever. Pioneers 1 of 4. The Bears 5 for 5. They take a 10-3 lead here in this early going. Other games in the South Atlantic Conference today as we take a look at the conference standings and what that means today for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. They've got to continue to play well as soon as I can find it. Lincoln Memorial 12-1, Lenoir-Rhyne 12-2. The lone loss for LMU in the league is to these Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. LMU is 14-2, top 10 in the country. The Bears are 15-3. My humble opinion, this LR team, from the teams that I've seen them all now, this is the best team I have seen. Catawba is at Limestone, Wise at Coker, Newberry's at Emory and Henry, Anderson at Carson Newman today, and Lincoln Memorial is at Wingate. Pioneers basketball out of the timeout. This is Bryce Jackson on the right side. Trying to figure out what are we doing in the half court. A lot of guys shrugging their shoulders. Here is Britton. Gets an Odesipe screen off the dribble. 2 is good. Jason Britton. He torched the nets in Northeast Tennessee prep basketball for his tenure at North Green High School. He has his name on top in the scoring totals, over 3,200 points in his high school career. 3 ball here by Tay Smith. First miss of the game for the Bears. Pioneers track down the rebound. Denaj Kimber gets it to Britton. It's a struggle in every possession for the Pioneers. Intimidation was the word I used in that first game. I just repeated it because we don't seem to be as intimidated at this moment. But Zaire Wells is not on the floor. Denaj Kimber a 3. No. Rebound by the Bears, weak side. Skip pass, left side with the basketball. Smith gets it on the baseline to Luczynski. Luczynski skipping it. This will be Sam Martin. Boy, they bring size, and he just lowers his shoulder, goes right to the rim. It's missed, and then TJ Printup climbs the ladder, gets the rebound away from Luczynski. Luczynski scored just 2 points against the Pioneers the first time, but his minutes were limited. Printup for his second 3. That one's no good. Now we've got to settle in. Bryce Jackson coming up with the steal. He's going to get the basketball tied up, and the Bears will have it when we come back after this timeout. 15 minutes to play in the first half. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 10. It's Tusculum 5. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. Continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Lenoir-Rhyne leading the basketball game 10-6 is what it says, but I think it's 10-5. Britton hit a 2-pointer, so I think it's 10-5. So that's what it says. If it says, here we go, UVA-Y's all over, and now I've messed up everything that I was going to say. Transportation provided to the Pioneer Sports Network. Will you turn that off for me? Turn that feed off. There we go. Thanks. Transportation provided by the Gateway Ford Nissan in Greenville, and it will be provided that to us as we travel to Gaffney, South Carolina on Wednesday to take on the Limestone Saints. Stop by the dealership. New year, new deals at Gateway Ford Nissan in Greenville. Bears basketball into the front court. I believe they're trying to fix that. I believe the jumper was Britton, and I think his jumper was the one that was in question at Wise that they never went back and looked at. It was a 3 for sure. The one that he made here was just a 2 for sure. A steal by Denaj Kimber. Into the game has come Serta along with Zaire Wells. Jumper for the Pioneers is no good, rebounded by the Bears. Junior Hodnett is into the game as well. He's also an Eastern New Mexico transfer with Coach Brent Owen. He brought 2 guys with him, and then Printup whistled for a foul here. Tusculum has not made a switch yet. Printup whistled for the foul, his first. It is our first foul of the game. 10-5. We've got it all corrected now if you're following live stats. Here comes Malachi Hale, who did not start today. Malachi trying to get into a good way. Who's out? Who's in? We got 5 out there. We're good now. Malachi Hale comes in, Dre Moss comes in, and Taj Kimber come into the game. 14-15. Got to find a rhythm. Jason had a nice little rhythm going as he knocked down a jumper. Zaire Wells over Taj Kimber, missing, and the rebound, Taj Kimber. One of the most dynamic players in our league, player of the league candidate. We've got 2 of them in this game, Bryce Jackson and Zaire Wells. Taj Kimber, a 3 off the bench. No, we're settling for the 3. And the rebound comes down to the Bears, and that being Gabe Serta. Serta to Hodnett into the front court, back to Serta. Serta onto the right side to Wells. Luczynski from the foul line, 15-footer, rims good. 12-5, Bears, equaling their largest lead. Pioneers need a bucket this possession. Dre Moss, Taj Kimber on the left side. Can't settle, got to get something going to the rim. Hakeem Odesipe against Luczynski at 7-2. Double team comes. We pass out of that for another 3 attempt. This one is no good. The rebound tip to Taj Kimber, but it's taken by Serta. Serta lobbing it ahead for Lewis June off the rim, or banked it in. Tay Smith finishing. And transition defense, that has been driven home for the Pioneers. But it doesn't matter for the Bears as they score in transition again. Dre Moss on the left side. Moss, Hale, right side into the hands of Bryce Jackson. Hale, Jackson, 3, no. Rebound, Odesipe. Jackson at the top of the key as Odesipe saves it for the Pioneers. He has been a beast rebounding for the Pioneers for about the last 10 games. Jackson elevates over Luczynski and scores. Bryce Jackson. Bryce very active. He got out to another double-digit start against Wise. We deserved better in that game, but lost in overtime. Still no real reason as to why they took points off of the Pioneers, and Luczynski buries a 15-foot jumper on the baseline. It was wide open. He was given the shot. 16-7, Bears. With the basketball in the front court. Jackson, a jumper off the dribble, in and out, no good. Luczynski grabs the rebound. Serta had it, and then he was slowed, and a whistle on the foul is going to take us to a timeout as Taj Kimber whistled for the foul, his first. We go to a break with your score, 11:49 to play in the first half. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 16, Tusculum 7. Pioneer basketball, driven by Gateway Ford Nissan, continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. 16-7, Tusculum down to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. 8 of 11 start, and Luczynski, who had just 2 points in the first meeting, his minutes were limited, was the only game that he had, ever since he has scored double figures in every game since then. But he's got 6 points to start to lead the Bears. Inside the paint, Zaire Wells elevates and scores on a double team. Largest lead of the game for the Bears, 18-7. It's just a fun way to play for LA. Now you bring in some athletes, guys that can just fly high. Top of the key for the Pioneers. We're doing something on the left side. Here's Malachi Hale to the side I can see. Right side is Taj Kimber. Back to the top, somebody doing something. Kimber, Odesipe missed at the rim but draws the foul. Hakeem's got to throw that thing down. At the free throw line he'll go. Zaire Wells whistled for the foul, his first and the team's first. LR's done a fabulous job playing for the first 8 minutes and 53 seconds without picking up a foul. Hakeem Odesipe will go to the free throw line. And just a little thing, he is first in the league in rebounding, 9.4 rebounds per contest. Offensive rebounds, 3.5. That's first in the league. Free throw shooting, a little suspect. 41% on the year. And his last 9 games, 12 points a game. 5 rebounds. Coming off his career best game against Wise with 22 points, where he scores both free throws there. Or pardon me, he goes 1 of 2 there, but a critical 2 free throw make at Wise on Wednesday to give the Pioneers the lead late in regulation. 18-8, Bears with the lead. Inside Wells, layup is good. Zaire Wells. 12-point Bears lead. Denaj Kimber across the stripe for the Pioneers. Pioneers, who got off to a scintillatingly hot start against Coker here at home, do not have that same magic in them. Jackson Owens gets an offensive rebound. Taj Kimber for a 2. It's good. We did not reset the 20-second clock, but we're all right. Taj Kimber off the dribble. Can the Pioneers get a stop? That's saying a lot. We got to keep scoring, and we have started the game 4 of 15 from the field, where the Bears are 10 for 13. We got to do better. Wells comes down with the basketball. That's the same call down at the other end when Britton had it tipped. And a 3-ball ripping net is Hodnet. It's the same call at the other end. Wells put the ball on the floor after it was deflected. He never lost possession, and it's not the same game. Denaj Kimber. Left side on the drive, Malachi Hale. Right to the rim, put it in. Malachi Hale, got to get him going again. 23-12. Into the paint, Wells carries it. Backing down, Denaj Kimber. Top of the key is Dozier. Dozier working on Taj. Drives to the rim, put it up and in. Little scoop shot through some contact. 25-12 Bears. They are as hot as it can be. They're as hot as the Pioneers when they were here at home. 11 of 14 for LR. They're doing whatever they want. On the left side, Pioneers have it. They're doing something. I don't know what they're doing. Right side, Denaj, a 3. This one is no good. It rims off. Rebound is loose, picked up by the Bears. Sam Martin grabbing it. Into the front court is going to be Hans Lewis June. To the rim, missed it, and Denaj Kimber gets the rebound. Lewis June may be taking a knock to the head. Into the front court is Taj. Taj on the left side. And then I'm covered up. Taj Kimber in the paint. Worked over by Sam Martin, tracking him all the way back behind the three-point line. 8.5 to play in the first half. The Bears lead by 13. Denaj on the top. Jackson Owens providing a screen. And Jackson was being dragged by Dozier. They got a pick and roll and a favorable matchup for Owens inside the paint. And Dozier's going to be whistled for a foul to be his first, team's second. As Owens was kind of dragged through the paint. trying to seal, and the pass went to him, and he had an easy layup, but the whistle came first. Inbound situation, baseline front court for the Pioneers as Bryce Jackson is back on the floor. Denaj Kimber to inbound it. Lob it out to Jackson Owens at the top of the keys. Watched there by Hodnett. Denaj Kimber now taken by Hodnett as they switch on Owens. Taj, 10 seconds to shoot for the Pioneers. Pull-up jumper, no good. Jackson Owens soars for the rebound, gets it back to Taj, to Bryce for three. No. And the three line has closed off. We are 1 for 10. Zaire Wells with high percentage and a technical on Zaire Wells. It's going to take us to a timeout. Pioneers will be shooting technicals when we come back. 7:51 to play in the first half. 18th ranked Bears 27, Tusculum 12. Pioneer basketball driven by Gateway Ford Nissan continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network.
In the beautiful foothills of Northeast Tennessee lies a beautiful campus distinguished by its history as the oldest institution of higher education in the state of Tennessee. Tusculum University has a historic campus with an advanced curriculum that is designed to catapult our students into the future. We offer associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees and more than 60 majors and minors within a caring Christian environment. I'm Dr. Scott Hummel, the president of Tusculum University. You could be a pioneer for a better future.
Them any help. They are 13 of 17 from the field, shooting 77%. Their points in the paint, 18 to 2. Yeah, we are having a hard time getting in the paint. Meanwhile, we are 1 for 10 from three, which means we need to stop taking threes. We've taken some good looks. They just have not gone in. We're 5 of 19 from the field. They are 13 of 17. They're shooting 77%. We're shooting 26%. A technical has been issued to Zaire Wells, which is going to be his second foul for one of the most dynamic players in our league. Phenomenal. And the dunk was incredible. The Bears are 8 for their last 9 from the field, but maybe a stare down is okay, but it was a lot of words that were used. How about that? It was a lot of words. Bryce makes both. Pioneers make the technicals. Into the game returns Hakimo to Sipe. Jackson Owens, great minutes. And the Pioneers will have the basketball at the other end of the floor. The Bears will bring some pressure. 27-14. After the Bears had taken the largest lead of 15. Backcourt pressure. Odesipe to Taj Kimber. Taj across the stripe. Denaj with it. Trying to set up something going to the rim. We've got to be able to get into the paint. Malachi Hale was the last one to do that for us. Taj, bang. A 3-ball by Taj Kimber ends the drought where we had missed our last 8 in a row. 27-17. Bears with a 10-point lead. So the technicals and then the three-pointer is a 5-point trip for the Pioneers. That's helpful. Off the rim, though, driving to the bucket is Hans Lewis June. At Florida A&M last year. Started 20 of the 30 games. And a turnover by the Pioneers. Bears have hit 9 of their last 10 shots. Tay Smith inside for Sam Martin. Dozier at the top of the key. He's a guy that can get you a bucket if it is necessary. Everybody can get you a bucket on this team. Bounce pass inside. It's lost by Junior Hodnett on the way to the rim, and the Pioneers rebound the miss, a rare miss by the Bears. Tusculum rebound numbers aren't very good on the defensive end because the Bears aren't missing any shots. Bryce Jackson, Denaj to Taj. 6:15 to play in the first half. Taj gets a screen from Odesipe. Odesipe knocked to the floor. Denaj takes a baseline jumper, and we jumped a little too soon. And Bryce is prevented from getting the rebound. And a whistle and a foul that's going on Lewis June. That'll be his first, team's fourth. Back into the game returns TJ Printup and Jason Britton for the Pioneers with 6:07 left. Britton will inbound the basketball. Gets it to Jackson. Jackson, Printup. TJ had it knocked away. Did he save it? I think he did. Yes, it looks like we have it. No one is running the other way. Illegal screen set on the Pioneers. Akeem Odesipe's whistled for an illegal screen, so that'll turn the basketball over. The third turnover for the Pioneers. Across the stripe into the front court is Serta. Serta, Luczynski back on the floor. Something's happening. On the right side with the basketball is LR. Tay Smith, floater down the lane is no good. Akeem Odesipe grabs the rebound for the Pioneers. Britton to Taj Kimber. Taj across the stripe. Left side is Bryce Jackson. 5:15. Printup on the right side. Taj driving it onto the right side. Printup for a three. This one is no good. Getting up for the rebound, Odesipe and Luczynski, and I guess it's off of Odesipe. I don't understand. It's a tough call. It looked like Luczynski knocked it away from Odesipe. 29-17 Bears. Pioneers still laboring from that three-point line. 2 for 11. Luczynski hands it off. Tay Smith rubs off a screen. Serta, skip pass onto the right side. TJ Printup knocks it away from Serta. Printup goes to the rim himself. Missed it. Bryce Jackson cleans it up. 29-19, the Pioneers still battling. They end 3 minutes without a point. They came in a fast break. Serta onto the baseline. Into the game has come Shim Sowie. Luczynski missing. Rebounded by Sowie into the hands of Serta. I don't know how he got it away from Odesipe. Here's Tay Smith. Goes behind the back between the legs. That's pretty festive. Little scoop shot at the rim is no good. Rebounded by Odesipe. Luczynski stumbling, opening the door for Printup at the other end. Shoots over with contact and scores. Timeout taken by the Bears. We'll take the timeout as well. We're back in 1 minute. 3:52 to play first half. The Pioneers on a bit of a heater. It's LR 29, Tusculum 21. Pioneer basketball driven by Gateway Ford Nissan continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. The Bears have aided this by not scoring in the last 3 minutes, and the Pioneers has been a bit opportunistic after a horrific start. Complete day and night start for us from home to home game. We went to Wise Wednesday, and we got up to a very slow start in that game and then worked our way back into it. As a matter of fact, built a double-digit lead in the second half, which has been the MO of this team. Played great for moments, but can't sustain it. Jumper off the glass is good by Hans Lewis June. Ending a bit of a run with the Bears up 15 at 27-12. Pioneers have gone on a 9-2 run to trim that deficit down to 8 moments ago. Bryce Jackson with it at the top of the key. To the right side is Printup. Printup knocked away by Dozier, and then Printup just runs over Dozier. From the same guy that's really blown his whistle the whole game. I don't know. It's a lot of action in front of this official. TJ whistled for his second. Malachi Hale back into the game. It's been a pretty clean first half, honestly. Lewis June into the front court for the Bears. Dozier with it. Into the paint. Lewis June off the glass. Good again. Banks home another one. They got shooters, they got scorers, they got athletes, they got rim risers all over the place. 33-21 Bears. Taj into the front court, lobbing it out to Hale. Britton on the right side. Bouncing it for Odesipe, a long way from the rim. Taj, left side three. Short. Jackson gets the rebound, and he's cleaned off. That's a pretty good looking block. But it's on Martin. Looked like he got the block. Jackson got the rebound on the offensive end. Pioneers, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. We do miss a bunch of shots, and we missed a bunch today. We're 8 of 26, just 2 for 13 from 3. Jackson at the free throw line is good on his first. Jackson was 7 now in the game, and he makes the second. Bears basketball, they lead by 10 once again. Left side is Dozier, and the run ender has been Lewis June. They lob it to Martin, into the corner to Tay Smith. Smith on the right side, back to the top to Hodnett. Hodnett working against Hale, driving it, lost it, and I think he just lost it on his own. He did. Turnover on the Bears, and the Pioneers have the basketball back with 2:06 to the half. Taj Kimber to inbound the basketball. Britton, Taj. Worked by Dozier, and Taj will take it into the front court. Under 2 to play in the first half. Left side is Jason Britton. Gets a screen from Odesipe. Hale, he had Taj Kimber underneath. We missed him. Malachi takes it to the rim, puts it up and in. Malachi Hale driving it to the rim. He's taking his game inside three-point territory. 33-25. Jumper or a runner by Lewis June is no good. Contested by both Britton and Odesipe. Pioneers get the rebound, and it's Taj Kimber into the front court. Bryce Jackson driving it down the lane, kicking it to Hale. Yes! Into the front court, LR leading 33-25. Pioneers on a 7-0 run. A whistle and a foul by the same guy that's blown his whistle all game. It's a tough call going against the Pioneers, it appears. Bryce Jackson is whistled for his first foul. 5th on the team. Non-shooting foul. Pioneers had a little momentum, and it's stalled by a whistle. Boy, isn't that funny how that's been the theme of the day. Dozier rejected by Odesipe. Oh, at least somebody else blew their whistle. Odesipe got the block, but I think what he did, it was an arm bar on Dozier going to the rim. Now, Dozier at 5'10", Odesipe 6'9", playing more his height today because he's got his hair trimmed back a little bit. He's got the cornrows going today. Looks good. Good look for Odisipe. He's got 2 fouls. He'll have to come out. Jackson Owens will be into the game for the Pioneers, and he provides so much energy for the Pioneers. Love it when Jackson comes in out of Prosperity, South Carolina. Pioneers prosper when he's in there. 2 free throws by Dozier, who shoots 74% on the year. Kimber inbound to Hale. Britton gets away from pressure. Jackson with a minute to play in the half. We did not attack. We did not have numbers because Sam Martin was back in his 6'9" frame manning the paint. Britton, Owens, Taj, a 3, maybe blocked. No good, and the rebound to Martin. Another miss from 3. Into the front court, lobbing it back out to Dozier. No look pass to Martin in the paint. No, got it back. Whistle and a foul. It goes on Jackson Owens. Jackson with his first, team 7. A lot of action right under the paint, right under the bucket, in the paint. And the paint has been kinder to LR than us. We have been outscored in points in the paint 22-8 in this game. And that's just LR taking it right to us. Some dribble drive, but just unreal athleticism. Martin at the free throw line. Started 15 to 25 games last year. Had a 21-point game against Mars Hill this year and had a 10-point game the last time the Pioneers got together back on December 7th. 36-28 Bears. Pioneers had trimmed that deficit down to 7. Martin missing the second, rebounded by Hale. Bears with pressure in the backcourt. Double team on Kimber. Britton into the front court to Bryce. 15 seconds, no shot clock here in the first half. Britton driving it, stumbling, and he's fouled. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be the right call. It's a very late whistle. The foul will go against Serta, who has his first, team 6th, and Britton going to the free throw line after working out the shoulder a bit. Halftime coming up in 9 seconds, 36-28. Bears with the lead, and Jason Britton, the Northeast Tennessee prep leading scorer all time, over 3,200 points in his illustrious North Green High School career. Rarely missing at the free throw line, but missing here. Coming up at the half, we'll have a look at this week in Tusculum athletics. Preseason teams have been announced. We'll have more next week. Your first half stats and scores around the league, all coming up. Britton goes empty. 8 seconds. Bears have a chance for a little more momentum. Dozier, reverse lay-in is good. Unbelievable. The Bears gain the momentum going into the locker room at halftime. The lead was down to 7, but the Bears will take a 10-point lead here at halftime against the Tusculum Pioneers. We're at halftime, where it's 18th-ranked Lenoir-Rhyne 38, Tusculum 28. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. Continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. 18th in the country, had their way with the Pioneers in that first half. Shot a sizzling 65% for the better part of that first half. Through about 12 minutes, we're shooting over 75%. Had only missed 4 shots when we went to the under 8 break. They jumped out to the quick lead. They have never trailed in this game. A quick lead. 50 seconds in, they took the lead. They quickly extended that lead to 15 points at 27-12, where they were shooting 13 of 17 and the Pioneers were 5 of 19. We fell in love with the three-point line. We have taken 15 attempts to their 2, and they have dominated us in the paint. And the Pioneers did rally, went on a 9-2 run to trim that deficit down to 7 at 35-28. But the Bears would add to that here at the end of that first half. We missed 2 free throws, and they get a layup basically at the buzzer. The Bears shoot 17 of 26, 65%. 1 for 2 from 3, and they are 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Pioneers were 10 for 29, 35%. 3 for 15 from 3. 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Rebounds even at 15. When you don't miss, there's no reason to get defensive boards, but we have 6 offensive rebounds. And when you don't miss, you don't have to get offensive rebounds, so the Bears have just 1. The Bears have 9 assists on 17 made shots, 3 turnovers, no blocks, 1 steal. Pioneers have 3 assists on 10 made shots, 4 turnovers, and 2 steals in the first half. LR outscored us in the paint 24-8, and a big reason why, they're big men. Sam Martin and Conrad Luczynski have combined for 11 points. 8 points, though, by Hans Lewis June to lead the way for the Bears. Sam Martin with 8, Conrad Luczynski with 6, Julian Dozier with 6, Tay Smith with 4, Junior Hodnett with 3. Off the bench, Zaire Wells with 6. He only played 7 minutes. He's the most dynamic player in our league, I think. But he was whistled for a technical foul, so he came out of the game in that process. For the Pioneers, they were led by Bryce Jackson again with 8 points, 2 of 6 from the floor. 5 points for TJ Printup, a point and 4 rebounds for Akeem Odesipe, coming off his career game of 22 points on Wednesday. 2 points for Jason Britton, 5 for Taj Kimber, and 7 points for Malachi Hale coming off the bench tonight, for the Pioneers total of 28. Points in the paint, LR 24-8. Each team has scored 4 points off the other's turnovers. Tusculum 8-0 in second chance points, and LR 10-2 in the fast break points, which is a big difference. Our transition defense has got to be on par. We'll check scores around the league when we return after this with your score at the break. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 38, Tusculum 28. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. Continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneers trail the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 38-28 here at halftime. Here's your scores around the league. First, your standings. Lincoln Memorial is 12-1 in the South Atlantic Conference. Lenoir-Rhyne 12-2. The LMU Rail Splitters ranked 6th. Lenoir-Rhyne is 18th. Wise 9-5. Coker's 8-5. Kirsten Newman 9-6, Catawba's 8-6, Wingate 6-7, and Anderson 6-7. And those are your top 8 teams. Newberry 5-8, Limestone 4-9. Tusculum is 3 games out of that 8th position. Got some work to do. There at halftime, Catawba leads Limestone 49-40. Anderson leads Carson Newman 41-33. Coker leads Wise 52-36. It's LMU leading Wingate 34-31. Emory and Henry leads Newberry 43-26. Game 1 of our doubleheader went to LR. Controversially, they win 82-79. Second half action when we return. Thanks for listening to the Pioneer Halftime Report. We're at the break. It's LR 38, Tusculum 28. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan on the Pioneer Sports Network.
The voice of the Pioneers, Ryan.
Pioneers trail the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 38-28 as we get set to start this second half of action. Pioneers will be on the road next week when we travel to take on Limestone. On the road all of next week. I am on the road everywhere next week. High school, college, crazy. We go to Limestone midweek and then to Catawba on Saturday of next week before we'll return home for our longest home stand of the year. 3 games, Emory and Henry, Wingate, and Carson Newman. And then it's 2 straight on the road before ending at home for 2 straight. 3 games to make up to get into the top 8. JT Burton has made the conference tournament each of the last 6 years as the head coach. (38-28). And we start the second half. Across the stripe into the front court is Denaj Kimber, Bryce Jackson, Akimo Desipe, Jason Britton, and TJ Printup. Bryce, 3, no. Rebound, LR. Into the front court, underneath the bucket, Sam Martin, he'll dunk it down. We did not get back, and that doesn't bode well. We've just got to do a better job in our transition D, and we have been. But that's just an open slam dunk, and Martin is like, thank you very much. Odesipe, double team comes, passes out of it. On the baseline is Britton, a 3. No, and Dozier grabs the rebound away from Odesipe. 3-point line is very unkind. Martin lays it in. Transition defense again. 42-28 is the largest lead of the basketball game for the Bears of 16. Printup challenging Luczynski. Luczynski blocks it, and it's out of bounds to the Pioneers. Have got to get back. Last time the Bears came to Pioneer Arena ranked was 2004. It's the only time they've come to Pioneer Arena ranked. They left with a loss. Right now they lead it by 16. That was a lot of fun too. This can be fun if we can start making some shots. That's the name of the game. And transition D. A deep 3. No. And it's coming near the end of the shot clock. Britton saves it. Bryce, bang. So finally one goes down after opening 3 for 17 and opening the second half 0 for 3. We make one. 42-31 Bears. Sam Martin, who has 4 points to start the second half, gives it to Luczynski, who lays it in easily for 2 more. Akeem, he decided to gamble for a steal. TJ Printup with it into the front court. Luczynski is back defensively. TJ doesn't challenge him except for a 3, which he misses badly. And the Pioneers couldn't be there to rebound it. So shot selection here, all from 3 in this second half. Meanwhile, everything in the paint for LR. And the Pioneers burn a timeout, which takes us to a timeout. We take the break, 17:55 to play in this basketball game. It's LR 46, Tusculum 31. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. Continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
In the beautiful foothills of Northeast Tennessee lies a beautiful campus distinguished by its history as the oldest institution of higher education in the state of Tennessee. Tusculum University has a historic campus with an advanced curriculum that is designed to catapult our students into the future. We offer associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees and more than 60 majors and minors within a caring Christian environment. I'm Dr. Scott Hummel, the president of Tusculum University. You could be a pioneer for a better future.
If you're wondering why Ford F-150 happens to Greenville on the bypass where from any other dealership around. That's on a brand new Ford or Nissan, and that's only a Gateway Ford Nissan. Plus service after the sale, 3 years maintenance free, and a lifetime powertrain warranty. Gateway Ford Nissan. Pioneers trail 46-31. LR has had their way to start the second half. They're 4 for 4, everything in the paint. The Pioneers have put up 5 shots from 3, made 1, and have put up 6 shots total. Jason Britton, dribble drive, pull up off the dribble for 2. That one's no good. And the rebound, Luczynski. Bryce Jackson steals it, goes to the rim, puts it in. Maybe something to get us going. 46-33. Bryce Jackson into double figures with 13. Well, he was already there. Right side front court with it will be Tay Smith. Here's Dozier. He'll try 3. Printup with the block. TJ, Euro step to the rim and in. 46-35, a little energy out of this Pioneer timeout. Bears' largest lead here in the second half of 16. Printup climbing the ladder and apparently commits the foul. TJ whistled for his 3rd, team's first. I couldn't see it to form an opinion. Dozier to inbound it. Bouncing it, knocked away. Britton had it for a moment, kicked around. Odesipe grabs it, secures it for the Pioneers. Gets it back to Britton. The Pioneers force a turnover. Rare turnovers in this game, by the way. As opposed to our first game where we kind of shared the ball freely, both teams. Britton fakes a 3. Jason is like smart beyond his age. Odesipe just for his 3rd point. Odesipe against Luczynski. Had a better day against the 7-footer at Wise than he is having today against Luczynski or Martin. 22 against Reeves on Wednesday. 3 ball by Lewis June is good. It's only their 3rd attempt. It's their 2nd make from 3. And the 6-0 run by the Pioneers ended. Denaj Kimber needs to go in. It will not. In front of his old coach, Jody, one of the best in the business. Denaj scoring here. His first points of the game. 49-39. Bears. Lewis June, wraparound pass, Luczynski, that's high percentage. That's a slam dunk by the 7'2" Conrad Luczynski. Bryce Jackson, thank you very much. The Bears call a timeout, and that takes us to a timeout on the floor. 15:36 to play in the game. 18th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne 51, Tusculum 41. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. Continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network. Bears lead by 10, 51-41. Bryce and TJ providing some spark. Pioneers have gotten after it for second chances as they're trying to just scratch and claw their way back into this thing. Tusculum has hit 5 of their last 6 shots. Our first game in front of the full student body since being back for this second semester. And enjoying some high-flying, rim-rocking action here at Pioneer Arena. I'm old school, so I use old terms. Zaire Wells back into the game. He'll turn around, take a jumper. It rims off 3 times. Martin gets it and then flushes it back home. It's fun to play above the rim. Into the front court, here comes Bryce on a long pass. He'll elevate for a jumper. It looks short. Martin he altered that shot by Bryce Jackson. And the ball goes out of bounds off the Pioneers. Got to answer when you get a missed shot, but that last shot by Zaire Wells hit the rim 3 times. And when it hit the second time, we thought we had it, and it barely it just glazed off the rim, and it went right to Martin, and we were already out of the way. And Martin just threw that thing down with 2 hands. Martin with 11. Wells backing his way in on Britton. Turns, shoots, misses. Rebounded by the Pioneers. Malachi Hale into the game. Not starting tonight for the Pioneers. Jackson for 3 is no good. Weak side rebound taken by Wells. Second game this season that Malachi has not started, by the way. I think he missed the first start of the year, potentially. Martin driving on Odesipe. Stopping. He's picked up the dribble. He needs some help. He'll have Hodnett for the Bears. Martin. Serta. Baseline jumper contested, no good. Rebound, Martin, and just a man among boys right now. Sam Martin again, he's got 13. And a blocking foul whistled against the Bears, and it goes on Lewis June. His second. And that's the first on the team here in the second half. Tay Smith going to be into the game for Lewis June. You're going to clean the floor up a little bit. Martin will come out with the 13 points. Lewis June with 13, and Luczynski has 10. And again, the points in the paint, the difference, 38-16. The Bears have they haven't had to take threes, and they've been very smart. They are 2 for 4 from 3. Odesipe, Britton, long pass front court to Jackson. Jackson will set up in the half court. He's got Luczynski on him, so Odesipe has the mismatch. But a 3 on the right side is good by Malachi Hale. 55-44. The Pioneers not going away. But the Bears have been able to get a lot of shots. And to be perfectly honest with you, the ones that they have missed, a turnover against the Bears. Pioneers with the basketball back. A battle for the basketball, and a lot of contact through that turnover. And Coach Brent Owen wanted an explanation. He did not get one, by the way. Not shocking. Odesipe to Britton. Britton for three. No, followed his own miss. Floater. Oh, he couldn't get that one to go either. Rebound out of bounds. Two. Oh, wow. That's going back to the Bears. 13-10 to play. Keep shooting it, Jason. Dozier will be back into the game for Serta. Dozier with the basketball. This guy Julian Dozier just has that calming effect. From the foul line, this will be Luczynski. Luczynski, Dozier. I just lost it out of play. I'm sorry, Julian, that's my bad. I was getting ready to say, I just could, a calming effect at the house. I could just have a picture of Julian Dozier, and I would just feel a lot calmer about it. I think when Brent Owen puts Julian Dozier into the game, it's just to calm things down. They still play at a very frantic pace. The Pioneers beat the press this time very efficiently. And again, the Pioneers have done a really good job. They handle it so well, but that has a lot to do with the Kimber twins and Britton. Odesipe dribbling away from trouble. Luczynski blocked the shot, and it's picked up by the Bears. Here comes Hodnett into the front court. Off the shoot top of Luczynski to Dozier. Dozier says, I got this. No look pass to Luczynski for two more. And see what I mean? Dozier, it's almost like he's asleep. Wells steals the inbound, had the ball knocked away. Odesipe grabbing it, and the Pioneers keep possession. Whew. I think we counted that as a turnover, though. We never really, I guess we did give it up. 7 turnovers for the Bears, 5 for the Pioneers, who trail 57-44. Here's Bryce Jackson, a 15-point day going. Right to the rim, and he shot it off the underpinning of the backboard. He thought he was fouled, maybe. Tay Smith, crossover. Baseline, Zaire Wells kicks it out to Hodnett for a three. It's good. They hit every shot. Tusculum is 1 for our last 7, 0 for our last 4, and the Bears have built the 16-point lead back, which equals their largest lead of the game. Tusculum needs a bucket this possession. Got to get the feel-good back. Denaj Kimber. Odesipe, a three. Bang. Hakeem Odesipe knocks down the three for the Pioneers. 4 for 16 on the year from 3, but he's been pretty efficient over the last 3 games. I think that's where he's made all 4 of them. 60-47, need a stop. Tay Smith will pull up from the foul line. It rims out, no good. Hale grabs the rebound. Pioneer basketball into the front court. Taj working against Dozier. Odesipe. Hale for 3. No good. Bryce Jackson rebounds it, puts it up and in. Bryce Jackson, 17 for Bryce. Timeout asked for by the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears as well, which will take us to the under-12 break. We go to a timeout, 10:50 left. It's 18th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne 60. It's Tusculum 49. Pioneer basketball is driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. Continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network. 60-49. Lenoir-Rhyne leading Tusculum. LR shooting 66%. They're 66% here in the second half. 67%. Let's round up. 10 of 15. Tusculum 9 of 23. We've got 8 more shots than they do. But when they don't miss, they don't need to get second chances. We have 11 more shots in the game. We had a ton more shots than Wise on Wednesday, and we just should have won that game. Pioneer team competing, down 11. One timeout remaining for LR. Brent Owen does take the timeouts. He does not want Tusculum to get hot. We're young enough and silly enough to not know what's going on. You know what I mean? Inside, Jason Britton steals it for the Pioneers. Long pass up ahead for Taj Kimber. Britton, here's a three. Won't go. Owen gets the rebound for the Pioneers. Jackson gets it back. Worked over by Sowie. Inside, outside, Hale. Yes! 3 ball by Malachi Hale. The lead is 8. Bears with the basketball into the front court. To the right side is Serta. Lewis June. Martin got away with steps. Jackson Owens defends it nicely. Battle for the rebound is out of bounds to the Pioneers, who get a stop. Here comes the calming effect again, though. Here comes Julian Dozier. I love everything about his game. He just, is so calm and smooth, and he goes to the rim, and he puts the right English on it to get the right spin. The press by the Bears, beaten by the Pioneers. Taj Kimber carries it into the front court. Pull-up jumper for 2 is good. The lead is 6. Dozier across the stripe. Left side to Lewis June. Top of the key is Sowie. On the left side on the drive. Inside, Martin is blocked, but he's fouled by Malachi Hale. So Malachi will pick up number 1, and it's good to see him feeling good about his game. Comes off the bench today after 17 starts this year. Pioneers are on a 10-0 run. But that can be stopped by Martin at the free throw line, who's just 56%. The sophomore out of Apex, North Carolina. 9.9 points a game. Had a 10-point game against Tusculum the first time. But he's got a big game going today with 13 points. As Luczynski and Martin will be out there together. Martin, by the way, made the free throw. His best game this year, a 21-point game against Mars Hill. Martin, for his second, is also good. That ends the 10-2 run and the 2.5-minute drought for the Bears. 62-54 LR. Getting a battle today from the Tusculum Pioneers, the upstart Pioneers. Kimber. This is Denage driving around a screen. Kick it out to Britton, a 3. Needs to go. Won't go. Rebounded by Dozier. Dozier averages 4.5 rebounds a game. This will be Wells driving to the rim. That's no good. And the rebound cleanup by Luczynski. Taj Kimber into the front court. 8:40 to play in the game. The lead is 10. It was trimmed to 6 after the 10-0 run. Top of the key is Malachi Hale. Britton from the top gives it up to Owens. Owens bouncing it into the paint. Malachi Hale gathering it through contact. Taj Kimber a 3. Bang! Taj Kimber. We don't get back on defense. A long pass up ahead, turned over. The Pioneers have the basketball back. Down 7. Taj on the left side. Worked over by Dozier. Step back 3 again. No. Rebound by Wells. We just really didn't get into the set that we wanted to, I think, there. I love it, though. These kids have no fear. Luczynski. Right side to Lewis June. Luczynski at the foul line. Martin driving in on Hale, and it goes. Hanging on the rim, it falls. Martin to 17 in the game. 66-57. Pioneers have had some shots, they just have not gone in. Here's Owens at the top. Got away with the step there. Denage, Hale straight away. His three is no good, and the rebound comes down to the Bears. The shot just not going. Got to get that one to go. Driving it right to the rim. Count the bucket and one. Lewis June, somehow with so much English, able to finish that one. And a three-point opportunity when we come back after this timeout. Foul goes on Owens. We go to a break. 7:05 to play in the game. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 68. It's Tusculum 57. Pioneer basketball, driven by Gateway Ford Nissan, continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. The gap. They trail Emory and Henry 56-50. Carson Newman has closed the gap. They trail Anderson 54-53. Catawba leads Limestone 67-54. LMU leads Wingate 61-49. And Coker handling Wise 78-66. 68-57 is our score. Coker has dropped from the ranks of the unbeaten to where they have not been able to win a game here over the last 6 games. They did get one win. They are 8-5 in the league, 12-5 overall after opening the year unbeaten at 9-0. Finishing the three-point play is Hans Lewis June. 16 for him, 17 for Martin to lead the way. Bryce Jackson with 17 for the Pioneers. He's back out there. Bryce has it now at the top. Good switch at the top. And LR understands defensive scheme too. And they're long, and they just force you to make bad decisions. And we've taken and settled for a lot of threes. Taj Kimber, there's that 18-foot jumper that's good. That one off the dribble, and the lead is 10 at 69-59. Luczynski inside, outside, long-range jumper, rare miss from 3, and the rebound up ahead is Printup for the lay-in. It's good. 69-61 Bears. Pioneers not going away, but can they get enough stops? The Bears have shot 64% for the game. Right side is Zaire Wells. Wells, who played just about 7 minutes in that first half with 6 points. Here's a backdoor cutter to Lewis June, who finishes. And a lot. 18 for him. He's had a 30-point game this year, but he's only averaged 8 points in his last 2. And he had the 19-point game against the Pioneers the first time. So a lot of success for him against these Pioneers. Denage down the lane. Taj, 10-foot jumper on the baseline is good. Zaire Wells will get the inbound as Taj providing pressure on Dozier. 71-63. Is there a stop in the Pioneers here, who have hit their last 3 shots? Taj Kimber's hit 2 of them. Dozier stays on the dribble. Picked up by Odesipe. This deflection through the lane off of Was a bullet pass. I mean, if it had hit you in the chest, it would have left a 3-foot hole coming out the back. It was a bullet of a pass by Dozier. It goes out of bounds, and it's a rare turnover in this basketball game. The Pioneers must take advantage here. Down 8. LR has led throughout. They have never trailed, nor has the game ever been tied, except when we woke up this morning. Taj? No. Dozier with the rebound. Coast to coast, it's rejected, out of play. Pioneers better transition. Taj, who was riding a heater, decided to pull the trigger there off the jumper, off the dribble, which, you know, he tends to make quite often. Inbound for Dozier. Lob it out to Zaire Wells. Knocked away by Denaj Kimber. Drives it to the rim and in. Another steal by our top thief, Denaj Kimber. 71-65. Second time the Pioneers have been at least within 6. Or no, this is the closest they've been. And then a whistle and a foul. It goes on Taj? I guess it was a reach. It's the only thing I can assume that was. Dozier will go to the line. We had cut it to 7 at 35-28. Then it was built back up to a 10-point halftime lead, up to 16 on 2 occasions here in the second half. And the Pioneers have trimmed it to 6 again by going 4 of our last 5. But LR has hit 4 of their last 5. They've just had a couple of turnovers in there. LR is up to 12 turnovers in the game. We scored 13 points off those turnovers. Dozier, solid at the line, makes both. The lead (73-65). Kimber into the front court. This being Denaj. We nearly had it knocked away. Serta into the game for LR. Bryce Jackson on the right side. On the right side, on the drive, Bryce Jackson and one. Bryce Jackson. You can hear the slap on his way to the rim. And the foul will go on Sam Martin. And it'll be number 3 on Sam, second on the team. Bryce will go to the free throw line, looking to give the Pioneers a 5-point deficit, which would be as close as we have been the entire game. It was 8-3. Bryce cannot, missing the free throw. A rare miss at the line for Bryce. How does that happen? Bryce with 19, though. On the cusp of yet another 20-point game. I believe it would be number 11 on the year for him for 20 or more. Right side is Serta. Bryce very active defensively. Worked over and working over Wells. Driving on him. Fading away. Missing. And the rebound out of bounds off Luczynski. And that will take us to our final timeout. The Pioneers rallying. Can they knock down 18th-ranked LR? It's Lenoir-Rhyne 73, Tusculum 67. 3:49 left as you listen to Pioneer Basketball, driven by Gateway Ford Nissan on the Pioneers Sports Network. Shawanda opened the year, a game in which Zaire Wells started but did not score. And then he has been just the most dynamic player, 17 points a game. Outside of Bryce Jackson, okay? Bryce, I have talked nice about the opposing teams because they have talent too. Bryce Jackson, to me, is the most dynamic player in the league. That's just a very biased opinion. An overtime loss to Wise in Wise, Virginia, so understandable. And then a loss to Carson Newman. Are the losses a ball that's tipped by LR, and fortunately it's tipped. It hit the underpinning of the backboard. We're going to take a second off the clock. Love the way Luke manages the game. He's just, he's a game manager. He's handling it. He's not afraid of the call. .347 is what we'll have on the clock. Took 2 seconds off of the game clock. So Taj Kimber on the inbound. This ball's kicked out of bounds by Dozier. Having a hard time getting the ball in. Pioneers have hit 5 of their last 6. Little lull. But again, the students back. Good crowd. So we're discussing the time again. I guess time had to come off since the ball came in. It was kicked by Dozier. I think that's an invasion of privacy, so it should be a technical. On the inbound. Do we reset the 30 after the kickball? No, we do not. Kimber got in the air on that pass. Akeem will take it into the front court. Hand it off to TJ Printup. Denaj Kimber with it, 3:35 left. The Pioneers trail 73-67. Denaj tries a 3. In and out, no good. Odesipe soars for the rebound. Gets it away from Dozier. Kicks it back out for another 3. This one is no good. Wells grabs the rebound. Into the hands of Lewis June. Yeah, we have taken some threes, 33 of them in this basketball game. Dozier dribbling to the baseline. Chased by Denaj. Dozier. Light contact by Akeem Odesipe. And Akeem is whistled for the foul. He's a big guy. Dozier is not. And any contact there, it's just definitely looks worse than it actually is. Pioneers on 17 of 36 shooting this half. The Bears are 14 of 23. They rarely miss. Near turnover, knocked away. Dozier's going to save it. Chased, gives it up. Jackson has it at the rim, missed it, and Luczynski grabs the rebound over the top of it. But a missed layup for the Pioneers. Wow. Cannot be afraid to make that call. Luczynski just jumping up over the top of Jackson to grab the rebound. There was some contact there, and that's what JT Burton wants, but I don't know. Printup with some contact here, gambling for the steal. Dozier smartly jumps in front of him to create the contact. Printup with his 4th foul. It's the 6th foul on the Pioneers, so the next will be the bonus. Malachi Hale quickly up into the game, returning for Printup, who's got 4 fouls. 73-67. We had a moment there where we could have cut this thing to 4, but we missed the layup. Luczynski, no-look bounce pass, rejected by Odesipe. Luczynski gets it back, though, and puts it in. Gosh. We're 10 of 16 on the layups. We've improved there, but that was a big miss moments ago. And finally, a whistle called on a hand check. And Lewis June is whistled for his 3rd. It is only the 3rd foul on the Bears. Inbound situation for the Pioneers, must have a score here. 2:12 left. Jackson will try it. No. Rebounded by Wells. The three is just not gone today. 34 attempts, we've made 8 of them. The Bears have attempted 6. They have scored in the paint, outscoring us in the paint. A steal? Yes. Kimber. And one. Taj Kimber will go to the line for the three-point play. The Pioneers, diaper dandies, I like to call them. Taj will go to the line. I cannot tell you how good it is for me to be able to broadcast for those kids, because against them when I was in the high school ranks, I was like, I dreaded it every game. It was like, oh, the Kimbers and Tyler Lee. They were so good at Fulton. Taj knocks down the jumper. Won back-to-back state championships. They ran into Greenville their freshman year, which they were defeated, but it was like 100-99 game, one of those games. The lead is 5. We're under 2 to play. Luczynski has it from the elbow on the left side. Odesipe defending it. Here's Dozier on the right side. Top of the key, 3-ball Tay Smith. Back iron no good. Rebound tipped out. Wells gets it on a second chance opportunity. 90 seconds to play. Dozier dribbling away from Hale. Was waiting for Malachi to come defend him and press him. Dozier driving in. Double team comes. Dozier wraparound pass. Pioneers dive on the floor to get it. Oh my gosh. Denaj Kimber dives on the ground to pick up the... It dives on the ground to get the loose ball, which it's loose, and they've called a foul on the Pioneers. And we're trying to clean up the floor. The ball is loose. Denaj just dives on the floor. Okay, but here's my thing. I complain about this a lot in a high school game. Have the courage to call the foul. If it's a foul and it's not a tie-up situation, have the courage to call the foul. This official has the courage to call this foul here, but it's tough because it's kind of a 50-50, but it's his interpretation. He's standing right in front of it. I don't agree with it. I think it's a poor decision because of the scope of the game. Front end of the 1-and-1 is missed. The Pioneers get the rebound. Long pass up ahead, and it's out on Malachi Hale. Dozier was there too. It wasn't off him. We tried the long pass to Hale, and it did not work out. They'll look at it, but we just don't have the cameras to be able to look at enough stuff. We have the camera that's right down there in front of it. We'll see. Matthew Palazzo needs to give us a really good look. I think it's his. He's got to give us a good look. I just don't know that we'll have it. And I guess we need to get 2 sets of eyes on it as well. Again, the Pioneers are 3 games out of a playoff position in the 8th spot. LMU, LR, Wise, Coker, Carson Newman, Catawba, Wingate, and Anderson are the top 8 right now. With Newberry 1 game back, Limestone is 2 games back, and the Pioneers are 3 games back, followed by Mars Hill and Emory and Henry. And the top 8 are solid teams. I think we can compete with Catawba. I think we can compete with Carson Newman if we can slow down their dribble drive. We have defeated Wingate. Coker we have defeated. Wise we were better than. Lenoir-Rhyne is the one team we just do not match up well with, but right now we just don't understand that they're so much better than we are. You know what I mean? We're coming out here to play. They've looked at it, which is usually what has happened anywhere in the South Atlantic Conference. I have never seen anything changed to this point for the replay. But they at least have the opportunity to give it a look. 1:07 to play. The Bears lead 75-70. Being challenged on the road, where they are 7-2 on the road. On the inbound, Lewis June to Tay Smith. Smith has Martin with him. He'll go to the rim. The Pioneers do a good job denying him. Rebounded by the Pioneers with a minute to play. Down 5. Bryce Jackson with it. Jackson driving on Martin to the rim. No, but he's fouled. And Bryce will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. The foul will go on Martin. It's his 4th. Brent Owen has lost the sport coat. Yeah, it's gotten testy. Love what he's done with this program. You know, love what he's a lot like what JT brought to the Pioneers as he came in. Energy, of course, you had Trenton Gibson and company. Brent has kind of brought in some other guys to this program. Bryce rattles home the first. There's 49 seconds to play. TJ Printup back in for defense with the 4 fouls. Bryce with his second. Another 20-point game for Bryce. I believe 12 on the year for him now. Pioneers down a possession. We have not made a 3. And here's a foul in the backcourt. Denaj Kimber trying to steal the ball away from Dozier, who's so solid with the handle. Denaj picks up the foul. It'll be Dozier at the line shooting a 1-and-1. Denaj picking up his second. The previous foul that he picked up was a 50-50 ball. It did not hurt us, so justice prevailed there as the front end of the 1-and-1 was missed and the Pioneers got the rebound. Big men having a big game for LR. Martin 17, Luczynski with 16. Dozier rattles home the free throw. Lewis June 18. Lewis June, a 19-point game against Tusculum, but he had been in a poor way, in poor form, just 8 points per game over the last 2. The lead again is 5 as Dozier made both, 77-72. Bryce driving it to the rim again. This one is no good. Couldn't finish it. Good defense. Wells, who's been held in check, loose ball. The ball is out of bounds off of Odesipe. Yeah, there was a slick spot on the floor. It may or may not, again, we're going to come and look at it, but I don't know that, again, it's going to change it. There was bodies all over the floor, mass humanity, you know. 77-72. Coming up for the Pioneers, wrapping up the month of January, next Wednesday, we'll be on the road in Gaffney. Did I just say that? You guys doing well on your New Year's resolutions? Next Wednesday to Gaffney to take on Limestone, and then the following Saturday, a week from today, we'll be in Salisbury to take on Catawba. Then our longest homestand of the year. As a matter of fact, we close out the season with 5 of our last 7 at Pioneer Arena. Well, it's only fitting. We were on the road for the first 5 games of the season. Long start to the year as we tried to figure it out. Bryce, 19.2 points a game, 4th in the league. Has just been on a tear this season, just a sophomore. Talk about the youth. Odesipe's second year in the program. Britton Kimbers, their first year. TJ Printup, Bryce Jackson, their second year. And Malachi Hale, his first year. So those are the guys that provide. Josiah Morris has been injured. And that's a big miss for us. And it's going to stay Lenoir-Rhyne basketball. So 32 seconds to play, 23 seconds on the shot clock. Lenoir-Rhyne leading by 5. Tusculum has held one of the most dynamic scorers, Zaire Wells, to 6 points. All of that in the first half in his 7 minutes. He slammed it down. He drew a technical, and he went to the bench the rest of the first half, and he's in the game. He's picked up some rebounds. Dozier gets it. He's being chased. Near steal, but LR gets it into the front court. Zaire Wells has it. Speed to burn. and a whistle for a foul with 20 seconds to play in the game. And the foul will be on Printup, which will foul him out of the game. Still the 1-1. So Wells will go to the stripe, 72% on the year. For Monroe University, averaged 13 points per contest. They must have been phenomenal. Wells has been a player of the week. That came December 23rd when he was named the player of the week. As a matter of fact, the Bears have had 3 players of the week. Luczynski and Lewis June, all named players of the week this year. Wells will go to the free throw line to shoot 1-1. Making the first, which means he'll have the bonus. So the Pioneers will burn a timeout here. Only fitting to burn another timeout. Had some very long games. I don't know if you knew that. All right, so our stat of the day provided by the Assistant Athletic Director of Sports Medicine. That is Chris Linker. Lenoir-Rhyne men's basketball athletic trainer Michael Flicker played catcher for the Phillies Fantasy Camp Championship team last year. Congratulations, Michael. Did you guys win? I don't know. But I hope it was a great experience. Probably was. There are 38 days until the conference tournament begins. And for the Pioneers to get to that point, they've got 3 games to make up. But they've got to start today by picking up a win. Because there are some games that are going on not in our favor, if you know what I mean, from teams ahead of us. Nobody's coming back to us, if you know what I mean. Pioneers, who still have the toughest schedule in the South Atlantic Conference that they have played. A lot of that had to do with the start of the year. Clayton State, Shawan, North Georgia, Lander. JT Burton consoling with the umpire, Luke. Luke he's had a busy day today. He's lost a lot of carbon dioxide by blowing a lot of air out. That's the way I look at it. A lot on him. Wells makes the second. I think everybody else has gone final in the league. 19 seconds to play in the game. Kimber into the front court. Hale for 3 is short, and that should do it. The Bears are going to survive it, and they're going to get their 4th straight win, and another win against the Pioneers in the process. For them, it'll be their 3rd straight win. Dozier in the back court. Tay Smith runs it into the front court. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and that's it. Bears survive it. This young Pioneer basketball team, going to be dangerous. Love it. Love the energy. Love the passion. We got to make a few more shots. We got to be able to do that. We finished the game just 1 for 7. Got to be able to make those shots that did not go down today. The Bears capitalized by closing the game out at the free throw line and scoring at will inside the paint today, outscoring the Pioneers 50-26. Coming up, our Pioneer postgame. We'll be joined by Pioneer coach JT Burton. I have scores around the league and our final numbers of this game. Your final score, 18th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne 79 and Tusculum 72. This is Pioneer basketball, driven by Gateway Ford Nissan. It continues here on the Pioneer Sports Network.